Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel today. We're going to be making the ultimate homemade shawarma wrap that's packed with bold flavors, tender meat, and fresh toppings. This recipe will bring authentic street food flavors right to your kitchen. Let's get started. We're going to start by making our sauce using mayo. We're going to add some ketchup. I always like the sauce to be very creamy, and that's why I'm using a combination of multiple items. So I'm gonna add the yellow mustard at this point because my kids just love the wraps to be very creamy. So I'm gonna add a dash of chili pepper just to put that touch of spice in the mix. So it's not just all sweet items. So we're gonna turn everything together. Now the color blend is obviously coming nicely together, as you can see. We're gonna mix all the items together to infuse the flavor and so we can get the mix we want. It's supposed to be very creamy, as I mentioned earlier. Now can you see the color blend really coming nicely together? Now once we infuse and turn everything together very well, we're gonna add the protein. Now for protein today, what I'm using is chicken and beef. The chicken and the beef have actually both been seasoned, boiled, and air fried. So for this wrap, we're just gonna add it straight into the mix. That's the chicken. It's been seasoned already, like I mentioned. Same thing with the beef that I'm gonna be using. Of course, they were both cut into thin strips so that they can easily be used for this mix. Now, that's the beef going into the mix. Now we turn everything again together because what I'm trying to do is to make sure that the protein absorb as much of the creamy mix as realistically possible before we add the vegetable to the mix. Now turning it together is obviously very important because we don't want to just take a bite of protein that doesn't is not well blended with the mix. So at this point, of course, I'm trying to do some house cleaning. I think that's my OCD coming to play, so you can ignore that. But the important thing is to make sure that the entire mix is rich and creamy. It's at the point of munching the meal you would appreciate having a creamy mix for your wraps, particularly for your Nigerian shawarma wraps. And I honestly do think that for this particular meal, the sauce was actually well made. It looks very colorful. It actually looks quite inviting. So I'm using pre-cut vegetables from the store for this purpose. But frankly speaking, you can choose to slice your own vegetable of choice from home. Cabbage, carrot, whatever it is you want to use. Feel free to, personalize however way you choose to add your vegetables. My kids are not so much they're not strong fans of vegetable. I literally have to force them, to take veggies, and so I use the pre-cut veggies from the store, and obviously I've added that to the mix, and I'm just going to turn it together very well also. Give it a good mix. That's very important. The same way we gave the protein a good mix with the sauce earlier in the video. So I also don't want the vegetable to be too much in the mix. So I just have to put a reasonable amount without it, toning down the creaminess of the mix itself. So we have the creamy sauce, we have the fresh crunchy vegetables, and we have the tender protein together. It's the perfect combination of flavors and textures. So we're just going to be putting that mix on our bread, the wrap we're going to be using, and we're going to put the sausages. So for sausages, I'd actually also boiled the sausages per now. So we're just going to I'm going to add one sausage to each of the wrap. So I'll be using two wraps for this first shawarma that I'm making. So once you have the filling and the sausage together, you can then start rolling the wrap. So you roll it up like a burrito. can actually roll it to the side. Just make sure it's tight, it's firm, so that the fillings don't have a way of escaping. So you fold the side and then just keep rolling it that way. Over time, one sort of gets used to doing it perfectly. So I'm going to repeat this process for the remaining ones. So after rolling each one, I'm going to put a pan or the cooker on very low heat. I'm going to spray that with some cooking oil spray, and then I'll add the wrap, the rolled wrap onto it. So what you have on the cooker is actually a few that I've done. Now I like the side to be slightly burnt because for me it's part of the beauty or part of what makes it a wrap, you know. So while we're waiting for the one on fire to take a few minutes to be ready, I keep adding the mix to the other wraps that is still left, and those, of course, I would repeat the process for the remaining wraps till everything is ready. Now, as you can see, the side of the ones on fire is looking ready, or I mean, this is the way I like it to look. It's not burnt, it has that brown, touch. Like, this is just so beautiful to see, and it actually does taste very yummy too, you know. Like, having the side slightly brownish, the way it's in the video, is actually one of the what makes it, inviting to eat, for lack of better choice of word. And that's it. We have our shawarma ready. Like, it looks so inviting. Tell me why you're not going to try this. You really should try this recipe. And the good thing is, it's so flexible. It's easy to make. I mean, the ingredients, there's a lot of flexibility with the ingredients. You can use whatever protein of choice. You can use whatever vegetable of choice. Just make sure that the sauce is very creamy, and that you had vegetables based on what you can tolerate. Look at that. See how yummy it looks. My children had a lovely time.